In the darkened corridors of the Lubyanka, the Second Chief Directorate has for decades organized the seduction, framing, and blackmailing of foreign nationals. When the Bolsheviks came to power in 1917, Russia was a mass with threats of conspiracy and counter-revolution.
The Russian intelligence service appeared after the Bolshevik Revolution, because formally it was not very well organized. Bolsheviks had a knack for secret work.
It was Lenin himself who saw the need to be one step ahead of the potential enemies. He chose Dzerzhinsky to head a new secret service, and Dzerzhinsky in turn handpicked the men who would form the core of his organization. Actresses and writers were to play a major role in the seduction of foreigners, none more so than in 1933, when the United States opened its first diplomatic mission in Moscow. New Ambassador William J. Bullitt had been encouraged by Washington to ensure his staff established friendly relations with their new hosts. Many, including the ambassador himself, took this literally. Bullitt embarked on a passionate affair with a ballerina, while she loyally reported back to the Lubyanka. As the Soviet Union's first movie sex goddess, Tatiana Okunevskaya attracted the amorous advances of numerous foreign dignitaries, including the man who would later head Yugoslavia, Marshal Tito. When this particular relationship came to the attention of the KGB, she was ordered by a senior officer to report their most intimate secrets.
He said, "Tatiana, we need to save our motherland," and all those cliché stereotypes of phrases. I said, "Thank you very much, but sorry, I won't do it." Then he said, "I won't let you out." "Okay, don't then." "We shall arrest your mother. You have a small daughter." I said, "If the whole family is going to be shot, then go ahead." He didn't like me at all.
The KGB never forgot Tatiana's refusal to cooperate. She was later imprisoned without explanation. In 1940, FBI Director J. Edgar Hoover sent a special agent to Moscow to check security. Hoover was shocked to discover in his agent's report that Soviets working in the embassy far outnumbered the Americans. They typed, delivered messages, translated, chauffeured, and answered phones. The agent also discovered that male staff at the embassy were meeting regularly with a group of Soviet prostitutes, controlled by the KGB. Throughout the war years, every Soviet citizen was expected to sacrifice everything to the cause. But while most returned as heroes, others were held in contempt. Zoya Zarubina knew many such women. Her pedigree as a KGB agent is legendary. Fathers and grandfathers all served the Secret Service with distinction, and she herself was greatly honored.
Some young girls were prepared to do anything and everything, and I know that many of them been sent over the border, I would say, to the rear, on the occupied territories to work as in the bar, to work as waiters, you know, and sometimes involving being mistresses to those German officers. And I think it's a shame when people put your finger at you, say, "Shame on you, you slept with a German." I mean, it's shameful, because that is part of the thing. But very few people look at it that way. Unfortunately, I knew cases when women who agreed to perform that sort of task, let's call it difficult task, I would say, later on, their bosses believed that if she could sleep with the enemy, why couldn't she sleep with him?
And sometimes sexual favors were the least of their worries. Paulina Savina Babic was a willing volunteer agent for the KGB, working as a waitress at the famous Metropole Hotel. Her targets were foreign businessmen passing through Moscow.
Only young and beautiful girls were selected for work. They didn't take any old ones. I was beautiful too then.
It was a major operation involving over 20 girls, plus their male supervisors. But one night, without explanation, the entire group was arrested and taken for interrogation to the Lubyanka. One of them was suspected of spying for the West. Despite showing complete loyalty, Paulina was lucky to be sentenced to 5 years in the Siberian Gulag.
Even the investigator warned us that everybody was going to be shot. When I was in Siberia, we were told that 40 people were involved in our case and 38 got shot. There was only a young girl and I left alive.
Literally thousands of young Russian women were used for sexual entrapment. Few of their victims would ever admit to their governments that they had been compromised. Often the KGB would nurture its targets over a long period, encouraging its swallows to form a very close relationship. Only then would they move in for the kill.